Today's video is brought to you by Very Good Presets. Check out our unique approach to color grading at the link below. We're going to be looking at some photos today, similar compositions, but 3 different experiences with 3 different outcomes. These photos will be on the Leica M11, the Leica M6, and the Rolleiflex 2.8F. That's digital, 35mm film, which is this sized, and medium format film, which is this sized. And the purpose of looking at these digital and film photos is to ask the question, which photos feel best? And I'm talking about your gut reaction, which is the one that you see and you're like, that's it, that's the one. Is it the digital, the 35, or the medium format photo? Because there are 2 things that all photographers experience. It's the process of making the photo and then the satisfaction of the outcome. And with the resurgence of film photography, it's really got me thinking, are people going after the experience of film photography or the outcome of film photography? Or is digital photography, is the experience just not what we want? Or maybe you choose digital photography because of the experience, or maybe you only choose digital photography because of the outcome. Like, these are all huge philosophical questions, but that really goes into the gut reaction when you look at similar photos, digital, 35, and medium format, like which one feels better? So just a few weeks ago, Amanda and I headed up on Tioga Pass. We were heading to Mammoth. We were gonna go do some stuff on the Eastern Sierras, but we spent the first part of the day on Tioga Pass in Yosemite. This is a part of the park that's like really high elevation, and I was feeling it the whole time, but we were still able to stop and take some photos on all 3 of these cameras. Now, I've already mentioned the cameras we're using, but let's talk about the film for a minute, because I didn't just throw like Portra 400 or Gold 200 into these cameras, which that would have been like no risk, no reward, right? I'm like, if we're gonna do some film photography, let's get a little crazy. And for that reason, in the M6, I had Vision2 100T, which expired quite a while ago. That's a 100 speed film, but it had to be rated at 25 to expose it correctly. And this film doesn't have a lot of forgiveness, and you'll see that in a little bit. So that's what was riding in the M6, some old expired cinema film. In the Rolleiflex 2.8F, I had some expired Fuji 400H. Now, this film did not expire that long ago, 2021, I believe. So it's not, I say expired like in quotation marks, because it technically is expired, but I still exposed it normally as I would if it wasn't expired, because it's not that old. And of course, on the M11, I'm gonna color grade it with my everyday color grades that I use. If you were to go check out my Instagram, you'll see this consistent color grade across everything. That's my own personal look, and it basically is, I'll just tell you right now, it's Very Good Presets, Portra 400 with a more faded black point and more saturation. And that's really basically it. And I think I turned the clarity down further too. But I'm going to use the exact same look I always use as if I'm editing my digital photos. I'm not trying to match these looks, because I feel like that would defeat the purpose of this little experiment. So as we got up onto the pass, we stopped off at one of the lakes, and that's where we did our first set of photos. Amanda was brave enough to get into the freezing cold water and float around on this pool floaty for me while I made a few photos of this scene. This first set that we did is a posed photo, and this first shot is on the Leica M11. This is a completely digital photo with Very Good Presets, Portra 400, and my own personal adjustments on it. Now, I should mention here that I'm also not using the same focal lengths, which is why in the beginning I said similar compositions. On the M11 digital photos, we've got a 35 Summilux. On the Leica M6 with the cinema film, we've got a 28 Summicron. And on the Rolleiflex, this is an 80mm planar, so it's really about a 40mm lens. So similar compositions. Now back to this first photo, this digital photo looks great, and it's honestly just right in my wheelhouse. My colors work on it, everything is good. Next up, we've got the Vision 2 photo on 35mm film. Now you can see some color differences here, and I'm not talking like crazy color differences, but they're definitely pronounced. You can see how they are different photos. The composition is the same, and right there, just between these two, which one feels better to you, the digital or the film? And now let's put the Fuji 400 into the mix on the Rolleiflex, and to me, this one is the one. Now, while I am a little lower on this shot, it's because when you shoot the Rolleiflex, you are shooting kind of like belly level. You're holding it below you. So I was able to get down just a little bit lower than I do when I shoot the Leica cameras. And you could say that the composition makes this the one, but to me, it's more than that. It's also just the colors of this film stock. I think it's absolutely stunning. So to me, the Rolleiflex is the one here. All right, here's the next set of images from this shoot at the lake. Here is the digital, the 35mm film, and the medium format. I'm curious which one you think is the one. Be sure to leave comments below also if you feel so inclined. This next shot was not made on the Rolleiflex. I just made it on the M11 and the M6. Amanda was drying off as we were about to leave, and I snapped off both of these photos. The digital one looks exactly how you would think it would look, but when I got the film back, somehow this image had a light leak on it. And however that happened, made the image the one for me. I love the imperfection, the light leak, it just makes it more interesting, so the film here is definitely the one. But if it wasn't for the light leak, I don't know if I would say that. What do you think? As we continued down Tioga Pass, we did a little hiking and we hiked to the river. And when we got to the river, there was this couple sitting below the lookout area we were in, looking down the river. And I took these 3 shots of them. Here is the digital, the M6, and the Rolleiflex. And as we were hiking out of that area, I asked Amanda if she would lay across this rock, and I got these photos. The M11, the M6, and the Rolleiflex. So when you look at these so far, are you choosing digital? Are you choosing the M6? Are you choosing the Rolleiflex? Or are you mixing it up? Again, I'm super curious to know your thoughts on this. Now, the next morning was absolutely stunning. We went to Hot Creek, which is one of the best sunrises in the Eastern Sierras. I mean, I think Alabama Hills is probably the best, but Hot Creek is incredible as well. Now, sunrise can happen pretty quick as the light begins to cascade down the face of the Eastern Sierras. And if you saw the video about my M11P Safari, the clip here is where you can definitely see that the frame selector has broken. I'm living in Safari drama right now, but I don't even want to talk about it. We'll just move on. Follow on Instagram for updates on that stuff. So with these 3 cameras in hand, I began to shoot the sunrise of Hot Creek. This first photo is the digital one. Next up is the 35mm. And last, medium format. And this composition is pretty plain. I mean, it's a beautiful view, but I thought, you know, let's maybe introduce a little foreground into it for this next set. Here's the digital. The Vision2 100T. And the Fuji 400H. As we were driving out of Hot Creek, we passed a little church on the side of the highway, and the light was hitting it in just a really pretty way, so I jumped out and I got this photo. Here it is on digital, on the M6, and on the Rolleiflex. Now, I am a photographer that loves shooting digital and film together, And those worlds really come together for me using Leica M cameras because it's like the same experience. Remember, we talked about experience and outcome. Well, shooting Leica cameras gives me the same experience, but I can unify a gallery because of the color grades from very good presets. There are several film matching color grades. So if you like to do film photography and you like to shoot digital, or maybe you just shoot digital, but you want to have a film styled look, be sure to check out very good presets at the link below. These presets are priced to be affordable, reliable, and we have an entire community around these presets on the Very Good Discord. It's free to join that. You don't have to be a Very Good preset user or a Leica photographer. It's open to anybody, and all of those links are right below. So these final few photos were taken at Bodie State Park up in the northern part of the Eastern Sierras. This is a ghost town, and when I say it's a ghost town, like it is legit an abandoned mining town that has been like preserved in the most incredible way. I have been to a lot of ghost towns. In fact, ghost towns are one of my favorite things to photograph. You can watch an entire hour of me photographing ghost towns around the desert at the link right above. Bodie was one of the most impressive places I had ever been. And it is maintained by the state of California. So when you get there, it's like stepping into a living museum. This first photo I'm going to show you is literally just walking around the town of Bodie. I like this shot with the road. Here it is on digital, 35mm film, and on the Rolleiflex. Probably good to mention here that I'm pretty sure I swapped the 35 and 28. So now I think the digital photos are a bit wider. If you were getting ready to comment and point that out, I got you. Next up, we have just a house in Bodie. I love the way the light was hitting it. I mean, we're there in the middle of the day. This isn't like golden hour, just middle of the day. And I love shooting in the middle of the day. So I loved how the light was hitting this house. Here it is on digital, on Vision2, and on Fuji. Now there are several storefronts around Bodie, and so I started to shoot some of those storefronts rather than just the homes. And here is photo one. This is on digital. This is on the M6 with the cinema film. And this is on medium format on Fuji 400H. Okay, the final shot I'm gonna show you is another storefront photo, but it really just speaks to like how interesting Bodie is because everything is still inside these places. It's fascinating. So you can see on all three of these photos into the window of this shop and see that they still have stuff in the windows. It's like 100 years old. I would quit this YouTube channel if Bodie was to offer me a job as like their tourism representative. I would do it. So Bodie, if you're watching, I will come live there and be your dude. Like that's how impressed I am in this place. Before I even show you this last photo, here's just a quick montage of some other photos I got around Bodie. Okay, I'll move on now. Final shot, here we go. Here is the M11, the M6, and the Rolleiflex. Okay, so now you've seen a set of photos that are similar compositions, all shot on digital, 35mm film, and 120 film medium format. And I asked the question, which ones feel better? I'm super curious to know which ones feel better to you. Is it the digital, the 35, or the 120? Or is it a mix? Like, are we in a place now where digital and film can really ride alongside, one being driver, one being passenger, and taking turns on a road trip and sit in the same space? Because oftentimes I feel like when I see a film photographer, it's a film photographer, and a digital photographer is a digital photographer. And really only in certain communities do I see a lot of overlap between the two. And if we just go back to the idea of experience and satisfaction of outcome, well, you can get that on any type of photography, but which ones feel better? Drop a comment and let me know what you think. And if you like this video, be sure to actually click the little thumbs up and like it. And if you're not a subscriber, be sure to get subscribed. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.